You know, when I was a teenager, everyone told me that my 20s would be the best years of my life. It was supposed to be this magical time of freedom, success, and adventure. I imagined myself building an amazing career, traveling the world, finding my purpose, and of course, having it all figured out. Reality? Not quite that magical.
I'm 25 now, and if there is one thing I've learned is that your 20s aren't always a smooth ride you expect them to be. In fact, they can feel pretty confusing.
Your 20s are the decade where society tells you that you need to have it all figured out. You are supposed to be building a career, maybe buying a house, starting a family, staying fit, being social, finding yourself, the list goes on.
But what's really happening to most of us?
We're just trying to survive, feeling lost, confused, and sometimes overwhelmed.
There is so much pressure to do it all, so if you're anything like me, you might start feel like you're failing because your life doesn't look like some Instagram highlight reel.
Before 20s, life is pretty structured, right? You've got schools, you've got grades, maybe sports or clubs. It's all laid out for you. You know what's expected.
But once you hit your 20s, you are suddenly free. No more teachers, no more rules, no more structure, nor system.
You are supposed to figure it all out yourself. And while that sounds great, it can also be terrifying.
This freedom means you'll have to decide what to do with your life and build a system for yourself, the one you will live in.
And with that freedom comes a lot of uncertainty. It's like you've been thrown into the deep end and no one ever gave you swimming lessons.
So what do? You keep trying different things, but sometimes it just feels like you're drifting. Feeling lost in your 20s is normal, like really normal. It's easy to think everyone else has it figured out, but I promise you, they don't, and honestly, that's okay.
See, the 20s are a time of exploration. It's the decade where you're figuring out who you are, what you care about, and what kind of life you want to live. You don't have to have everything figured out just yet. In fact, not knowing is a part of the process. So instead of freaking out about feeling lost, maybe we can see it as an opportunity to try new things, make mistakes, learn from them, and grow.
So how did I actually stop feeling lost? Well, that wasn't a quick fix. Here's what I did. I didn't think about what might be a good path. I tried everything.
E-commerce business, tech startup, learning Spanish, growing on Twitter, photography, you name it.
Failed at most of them.
And when they didn't work out, I felt even more lost.
But looking back, that's how I eventually figured out what wasn't for me.
After each failure, I gave myself some time to feel frustrated. Then I got back, because failing at them wasn't the end. I used each setback as fuel to try again.
Even with YouTube, which I see as my main passion source right now.
I used to shit my pants only from the thought of me talking to the camera and from the scary video editing realm. But here we go. I do it because I know that growth starts at the same place as your fear.
But here's one thing I want you to remember till the rest of your life. Don't quit too early when you don't get quick yields at first.
Great things need time. Just make sure it brings you joy. Progress will come eventually.
So, if you are in your 20s and you are feeling lost, remember, you are not alone and you are not behind. It's a wonderful time to explore, to make mistakes and to grow.
Don't put pressure on yourself to have it all figured out. Just take it one day at a time.
If this video helped you in any way, be sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one, my fellow wanderer.